We have our Jester here
Okay.
is desperately wanting to ask you some questions. So you've seen some of these before from other episodes, and he's got some random things in here that we're going to just kind of see how you think.
Okay. Great.
No rhyme or reason to them. We're just going to have some fun here. So the Jester, get my glasses on too. Getting old requires glasses now to read stuff. It's annoying. My kid thinks it's funny. All right, first one out of the gate. Albert, tell me a quote or piece of movie / TV dialogue that you'll never forget.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you got to have one. As a filmmaker, you've watched lots of movies.
I know. Something, and this can't be, I don't even remember the question now because I'm just thinking of quotes, but a quote that has been on my mind recently because my assistant director, Noah, this is a kid that 2 years ago hadn't even maybe 3 years ago, hadn't picked up a camera, hadn't edited an editing machine, was an accounting major at UConn. He was on an ESPN documentary that I was producing, directing, and I was just like, oh, you're scrappy, so I brought him on. He fell in love with it, has worked tirelessly to get there, and a quote from Breaking Bad that recently came to me with just the way I've been, feeling watching him is, Jesse, your cook is just as good as mine. And I think that's kind of like, Noah's not quite there. But like there are times when I see like the shots that he films and the things that he's thinking about story-wise, like he'll come back and, for one of the first times in my life, I'm like, I don't need to be the one shooting out there. I'm like, Noah's got it. And
that's
like
cool.
we're still working on the editing and the storytelling instincts and the edit. But there's been some scenes that he's made where that comes to my mind. I'm like, your cook is just as good as mine.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing to see that when you've got somebody who you've been building up and grooming and teaching, and to see them make that step, like, yeah, there's a really, it's a wonderful moment there. I love that. Yeah, that's cool. Cook is just as good as mine. If you could wear one outfit for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This one. No. Maybe this one with like some jeans. Like these are my Under Armour lightweight work pants.
Yeah.
We're Under Armour school.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like this. I like Local Hoops. It's a cool little brand in New York that, donates money to help build basketball courts and facilities and stuff. So yeah, this sweater and some light jeans and then some comfortable shoes.
Comfy. You're easy, chill, low key, low maintenance.
But, I mean, I will say my coworkers and people who know me know that I'll probably always be in a pair of sports shorts because I actually like to always be in an outfit where if I needed to, I could just jump into a pickup game. Yeah.
Okay. So you're a basketball fan?
Yeah, was a big basketball fan. NBA is kind of, I don't know, I'm not as in love with it anymore.
Yeah.
Miami Heat, grew up in Miami.
Okay.
So that was a great era.
Did you play ball in high school?
No, I played soccer all my life.
Really?
I fell in love with basketball in college, and it's just been relentless since. I play so much.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Who'd ever thought?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish that I'd been put into basketball. But
really?
Soccer, cross-country, track, and then all of a sudden basketball.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it's a later passion in life for you? Later
passion, yeah.
That's wild.
That and a bunch of niche sports. I love Ultimate. Can't get enough playing Ultimate. Can't get enough playing spike ball. Like that's all those things.
Ultimate's a lot of fun. I've done that in a long time, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, I'm learning new things. Thank you, Jester. All right, here. Let's see. Speaking of cook, are there any substances, tricks, or rituals that help you get the creative juices flowing? Think like, 1960s music. And, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not everybody is, of course.
There were times in college when I knew that I'd be pulling an all-nighter that I'd just get a bunch of sour candy.
Really?
And just that would be like the fuel. And it would be cool because like I had other friends that would do video stuff too, and I'd be like, yo, you guys want to pull like an editing all-nighter? And we'd make like a night out of it. Like we
Yeah.
would stay in our campus's little editing lab
Yep.
and all buy a bunch of candy from the student union and just swap candy, go, just like whatever.
That's funny.
Now I'm getting old, I guess, because my taste for candy's gone down.
Mhm.
But I think just, no, this got like a nice kombucha
Okay.
can just really help me through whatever I need,
Okay.
So yeah, sparkling, refreshing, a little vinegary sometimes, but it just like helps me, I don't know, get through a long night.
Yeah, a couple of our kids are hardcore into that. Love it. We'll ask for it every time we're in the store. I haven't been able to get into it. My wife is more of a fan than I am, but that's a very interesting thing. And I love your college story about that because it reminds me of the same kind of thing, being in the animation lab for hours and all throughout the night. And we'd make it a thing.
Yeah.
We'd all, stay after class and keep running, going. We'd go eat and come back and just keep right on going. And it was a thing, like, we all got a ton of stuff done, but we had a lot of fun doing it
Yeah,
together.
you're running off the energy of your peers
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, that's really funny. Sour. What's your like sour candy of choice? Or what was it?
Haribo sour gummy bears.
Oh, really?
Those ones are really good. Yeah. But I gotta say, if I had to today, it's the Nerds gummy clusters. Those are the best candy to come out in like 2 decades.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter got some for I forget what it was. I was like, these are good. Just kept popping them in, and then she was like, Ted, those are mine. I'm like,
Yeah.
No, not anymore. They're mine. Thanks, though. Grape or not grape?
Not grape.
Okay, not grape. Grape's nasty. If you could go back in time, I love this question, and punch somebody in the face, who would it be?
Oh my God. How political can I get on this?
You knock yourself out.
Yeah. Realistically, because I'm from Florida, the closest chance, and he went to UF, the closest chance I'd have is like Marco Rubio. Okay, yeah, that's political.
I'm okay with that. Look, that's what the question is. Like, what's the, political in nature?
No, you know what? Here,
Okay.
I have an answer. So, growing up in Miami as like one of the two, I would say, Chinese kids in the whole school. A lot of bullying, a lot of teasing, whatever that stuff. There was this one time that I was in geometry, and we had this like Russian teacher. So I'm not sure if she didn't hear it or she just ignored it. She probably ignored it. But we were all talking about this problem, and I was like, no, like this is the answer, and like this is how I got there. And then the kid who was wrong and was embarrassed was like, oh, how'd you figure that out with your eyes closed? And that kid, if I ever saw him again, Alex, if I ever see you again, you're getting
whacked.
socked. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so I've been doing this particular podcast for a bit now, and that question has been from the beginning. And I've been dying for someone to go, yeah, Alex from 3rd grade, I'm going to punch you when I see you again. And you kind of did it for me, so that was beautiful. That was great. Yeah. So circling back on that, and maybe a more serious thing, like that was clearly a racist jab at you. And you said you're one of like 2 Chinese people in southern Miami.
Yeah.
What was that like, and how did that shape you for who you are now? Some of those things.
I don't know. Like, for a while, it had definitely an impact in terms of the like internalized racism. Like you internalize a lot of that stuff. You start believing it too, and you start thinking that, oh, I'm less and because of this or that. And I think that the thing that and that's all stuff that I've worked out through just like, wonderful friendships and relationships and therapy and, beautiful people that are not like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that I have selectively kept from those experiences is just like a super underdog mentality. Like I always know what it is when I walk onto a basketball court, pick up in Miami or pick up in New York because I lived there for a year, or even here in DC. Like I know what it is when I walk onto a court and, I'm the only Asian guy on the court. Like I come in with a little bit of like, don't worry, you will find out.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool because it can go the other way really easily.
Yeah.
Where it just beats you down to where you don't ever recover and life goes a different direction.
Yeah.
Did you have parents or role models that you got to see them do that, or was this something that just kind of happened naturally for you as you worked?
I mean, not until a little later in life. Like my, dad at one point, my dad and my stepmom asked me at one point, they're like, "Hey, Albert, just curious, has anyone ever been racist to you?" And I'm like 25 years old at this point. I'm like, are you kidding?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No, it was Charlie Weber. You can't tell by the last name because his dad was like a Swedish American army dude, big dude, and his mom was Japanese. He was mixed, but you could definitely tell he was Japanese, and he was the first role model I had that could say that we're like an Asian American, and just I guess the way that he lived his life and the he went through a lot of similar bullying as me, and we talked about it, and just seeing how kind of, I don't know, he could still be so pure-hearted about a lot of things and just so open to so many different things, and it made me realize that like I'm gonna be okay too,
requires a lot of grace and humility.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. We don't have enough of those things in the world. All right, let's see what else we got in here, Mr. Jester. Who's an artist in a completely different field who totally blows your mind?
Man, this is a good one. Good question.
All right.
What field do I even want to select? I guess it's just relevancy bias, but like I think that like Noah Kahan really blows my mind. I think he just, he really taps into something with his music that's really cool, and just the ability to tap into it, but also perform with all these different artists, from Post Malone to Hozier, Casey Musgraves, like the range it takes to do that. And I think it's just also that he does it with a lot of human anxieties too. It's really cool. Like I like that. I feel like, connected into that anxiety piece, and then just seeing him like kind of like live out this superstardom it's very cool. I know I'm gonna regret this though, because like I have these artists that like all the time I'm like, oh man, like but
well, that's what's cool is to me it's authentic. It's right there for you to grab at. How important is music to your process, your creative process?
Oh my god, it's almost everything.
It's
almost everything, because like and I'll bring this up again because I brought up pre-show, but Beef season 2, I recently listened to one of the podcasts about it, and the actors had headphones in playing music that they had to paint out, spend an unforeseen amount of money to paint out, like in post, right?
Yeah.
To like make it look like they're not there, that they actually had ear holes. And they were listening to the soundtrack of the show as they were acting out the scene. And so this isn't a spoiler because it's so general, but the kiss at the end of the show, they're listening to that same huge bass that we're listening to. And so when you talk about like music, like it can drive everything, but you can't let it control your story, because music can be so manipulative. And that's what I like tell my students to know. It's like, hey, I like this song that you chose, but it's a little bit too cloying. It's a little bit too manipulative. It's a little too self-satisfied. And so a lot of the times what I found with music is that if you break it down, and now we're in this wonderful world where music libraries give you stems. If you can break it down to stems, you can find out that different things in the music create different feelings. Piano is an incredibly self-assured instrument. It's an instrument that is telling you what to feel. It doesn't really let you feel anything else. It tells you what to feel. Violin and strings, it's close to the truth. It's close to the truth, and it's really emotional. And then like horns and like chimes, that's all whimsy and floating, and like that can give you a space to use your imagination as the viewer.
Interesting.
And so, I mean, when you talk about, I could talk about music all day long, but what I'll say is that there's so many cool things you could do with it that like audiences may not realize, but it is a storytelling tool too.
100%.
Because I had this track that was labeled Americana, but had a banjo, a mandolin, and a guitar. And I'm telling the story of this mother's immigration over to the United States to raise her son, who was born in Baltimore. All he knows is the U.S., right?
Mm-hmm.
But their stories intertwine, and so their interviews intertwine too in this piece, in the same scene. It starts with her, and I'm like, I'm just going to use the banjo stem, because the banjo is actually originally a West African instrument. So I'm just going to use the banjo stem. And then as we merge and she arrives in America, I'm going to add banjo and mandolin. And then, as it's Zion and it's his story, it's banjo, mandolin, and guitar. And
Bring it
that's
all together.
American.
Yeah.
And that's there. And so, like, no one would ever notice that in terms of when they're watching the piece, but it's just simply a feeling of the change and shift that's happening in the music that you don't know is happening, and I'm the only one that
It's
knows
subliminal,
what those
though.
were. But yeah.
It's subliminal. You can tell when music works and when it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell when it's trying too hard. I think one of my favorite examples of that is the 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. The first one I thought was really well done in its choice of music, and then they tried to do it again and again and were less successful each time.
Yeah.
And you can feel that. You can feel like, oh, you're trying a little too hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
this
it
one
captured
here
the nostalgia.
was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out how to do something different. Tarantino's the same way. Like, his music choices are, I always think, perfect, but they're very deliberate. They're very thought out. Lots of time goes into those. And it's a hard thing to get the music just right. You know, we've gone through thousands and thousands of libraries
Oh my God.
trying to find just the right thing for it. Sometimes it hits and sometimes doesn't, and sometimes it sticks in your brain forever.
Yeah.
Forever. There's a specific project that we did years ago for TLC and Finding Dory, and the music for it, if I hear it, like, it will just take me back there. I'm like, no, you know, but it's not a bad thing, but it's like, oh, I remember very vividly listening to that over and over again to try to find the right stuff.
That is that period. That is that video.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very funny what music does to us. All right, let's see here. Let's do one more and we'll get you out of here. This one's come up recently and a couple other ones. Have you ever been to a monster truck rally?
No. The closest I've ever come to that is a bull rodeo.
Okay, tell me more.
I was filming with a friend. She was filming a piece on, like, black cowboys. And she was like, hey, I need a second camera. Do you want to shoot this, like, bull rodeo? So, like, we get to, like, go behind the whole carnival and in the pen, and, like, you know, it was very cool, very cinematic.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, very patriotic American event, but, like, man, those bull, the dust that they're kicking up and just the sound, it's incredibly cinematic.
Very intense too.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to a rodeo, so I've got no idea what that's like, but I can only imagine it's got to be incredibly raw and gritty. And
yeah, I mean, you also never know what's going to happen.
yeah,
Like, if he gets thrown off, like, maybe he gets stomped on. Like, you don't know. But right now, that's just front of mind because we have this player on our team, Sydney Stewart, who goes by Young Bull, and, like, he's done an amazing job making his brand. Like, you know, his celly has it and all that stuff. And we're like, you know what? For his episode, I think we need to take this kid to the Maryland County Fair
oh man,
this summer and just have him and a few teammates watching this bull rodeo.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Albert, this has been a blast, and I could do this for a lot longer. But we'll let you get back to life. And everybody, that's Albert Tong. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
It's a
Thanks for
blast.
having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Until next time, bye.